Welcome back to GA Fan TV. Galway 113, Roscommon 1-9. Galway are into the Connacht Senior Football Championship final. They are back in the Connacht Senior Football Championship final. Of course, having won the competition last year, beaten Roscommon in the final, and now they beat Roscommon in the semi-finals, booking themselves into the final in which they will play Sligo. This is the instant match reaction. If you could hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, that'd be very much appreciated. And big result, big win for Galway. I mean, it was an interesting game. I think it nearly looked dead and buried really at half time. Like Galway came flying out of traps. Roscommon struggled to deal with Galway. Definitely didn't bring the same intensity that we seen them play against Mayo. And to be fair to Galway, like, you have to give them a lot of credit defensively. I actually think. I know they conceded a goal. And that was just sort of in a period of the game at the start of the second half where Galway looked like they were about to throw it away, in all honesty. But Sean Kelly, what a performance from him. Like, absolutely immense. I can't believe they didn't give him man of the match, to be honest with you. I mean, he was getting blocks in, so many late challenges. And then, there was one moment as well where I think he goes past two players, puts the ball wide, in terms of a goal chance. He was absolutely outstanding. John Daly was fantastic. Jacqueline was very good as well. John Maher as well in midfield. I thought a very, very good game. I heard it was his championship debut. I thought he was very impressive. Very impressive. Very tall, commanding midfielder. And like we've got a lot of good midfielders in the country or in the county, in fairness. Paul Conroy's obviously there. I suppose Peter Cook's playing more sort of in the half forward line. But yeah, it was a really, really good performance from John Maher as well. I thought he had a very, very good game. But yeah, I don't know what it was with Roscommon. They just, they struggled to find any real momentum in the first half, or struggled to really get their hands on the ball. They were too passive in their play. I felt they weren't really getting at Galway or trying to make chances or make anything of it. And it just looked very comfortable for Galway. Roscommon didn't score from play in the first half. Kieran Murtha scored 3 frees. And Roscommon didn't score from play until the start of the second half. It was just a bit too passive from them in the first half. Damien Comer was very good as well, actually, in fairness, for Galway. He scored 1-4, obviously got that big goal in the second half, which came at a crucial point in the game, because it was just a couple of minutes previously that it was a short kick out from Bernard Power. Completely got it wrong, picked up by Ben O'Carroll. He played it into Conor Cox. Conor Cox, with a very big goal opportunity right there, but he drops the ball, fumbles the ball. Galway get the ball and then work it down the other end. And a couple of minutes later, the ball's in the back of the net from Damien Comer. So, yeah, it was, a tough one to swallow, I'm sure, for Roscommon fans. But in fairness, they, the start of the second half, they were very good, and that was more of the Roscommon we're used to seeing. They scored 1-3 without reply. Like, they didn't score at all from play in the first half, and then they kicked 1-3 from play in a couple of minutes. Big goal from Kieran Murtha. Brilliant play by Roscommon. Keane McKeown, I mean, he was very good, wasn't he, for Roscommon as well. He made a big impact in this game from a Roscommon point of view. But yeah, fair play. Like Galway, in that kind of moment, you see teams panic. You see teams sort of lose the will of themselves, fall apart. And, it was looking like the game was only going to go one way once Roscommon got that goal. You were thinking Galway have completely lost their heads here. They were misplacing passes. They weren't being, kicking, silly shots wide. And they just looked like they lost the run of themselves. But they regained their composure. They regained their team structure. And from then on in, they went on to win the game. And obviously that goal in the 53rd minute from Damien Comer, I think it was an effort by Peter Cook that hits the post and then falls down into the hands of Damien Comer. Like, how many times have we seen that in Gaelic football where, someone's going for a point and it either drops in short and, there's a bit of a scuffle in the square and the ball ends up in the back of the net, or it hits the post, drops down, the attacking players, alert and puts the ball, in the back of the net. And yeah, that was what happened here. The effort from Peter Cook hits the post. Damien Comer grabs it, slots it into the back of the net. And yeah, Roscommon they couldn't quite get in. Galway were just set up really well defensively. And, Roscommon needed goals then. They needed a goal to get back into it once it got to 3 or 4. and probably just, some brilliant defensive display from Galway to keep out the Roscommon attack, in fairness. And like, when you look at it, Kieran Murtagh scored 1-6 for Roscommon, but, the other forwards weren't really firing. Nothing from Ben O'Carroll, who I thought actually had a very decent game in the second half. I thought he did a good enough performance in the second half. He was setting a lot of things up. Nothing from Enda Smith, German Murtagh, and Downey Smith obviously went off late on. Yeah, like, there's just not enough really in that attack. Like, Keane McKeown came on, made a big impact in the second half, but there wasn't enough in attack for Roscommon, I felt. And yeah, just a couple of missed chances as well. I think it was Enda Smith that had that goal chance at the start of the second half as well, when he sort of palmed the ball wide. So I think it was Enda Smith who might have set up down one of the Murtaghs, I think, maybe. But it was a big opportunity that, and Roscommon were creating chances, but just not quite being able to get over the line. But fair play to Galway, like, they've really improved defensively. I think that was their weakness last year. They've really improved on that. They've got a wealth of options as well. Like, even being able to bring in someone like John Maher, a new player in there in the midfield. Being able to bring him into the side, absolutely huge from their perspective. And Killian McDade, who was very impressive for Galway in around midfield last year, but obviously John Maher's getting the nod this time around. Ian Burke as well, like, he scored a point. Shane Walsh, 2 points from him, but probably a quiet enough game. I think the commentary said he might have been nursing an injury or something of that nature. But 2 points from him, in fairness. And Galway going into that kind of final, look, I think it goes without saying, I think we would all be hugely shocked if they got beat by Sligo. That's no disrespect to Sligo, but this Galway side are streets above, and serious All-Ireland contenders. As I was saying in the preview show, like, they're a very seasoned veteran type team now, in my opinion, where they didn't panic. They didn't panic once that goal went in. At the start of the second half, they didn't panic. They didn't lose the run of themselves when Kieran Murtagh's goal went in. They kept their composure, kept their strength, and just managed their way back into the game. And I think that was what was most impressive, I think, from a Galway perspective. Tom says here, I thought Maher was outstanding. Lackluster game, though. Fair play, Galway deserved it. Yeah, probably wasn't the greatest game. Currently nursing a bit of a hangover as well, so probably not the best game to watch, to be perfectly honest. But like, it was how we said it in the preview show. Like, it was very cagey, and I expected that. You expected Galway to probably sit in. They weren't going to come on to Roscommon in the same way that Mayo did and just leave themselves exposed. So like, the first half was just very null. There was just nothing really going on. And then the goal, at the start of the second half from Kieran Murtagh completely opened the game up. And then, it was kind of, the game was opened up from there. But once Galway went back 3-4 points in front, then, it was just very hard then, because Galway had retracted back into their defensive shell. Padge says here, what chance would you give Sligo? Sligo will need another miracle like 2007. Yeah, probably a bit bigger miracle. Like, you could argue this Galway team is definitely better than Galway's 2007 team, I think, anyway. I don't really remember much of the Galway 2017, but I don't really remember them ever doing that of any significance, really. So, I know they obviously won an All-Ireland in 2001, was it? But like, generally, a lot of those players had retired by then. So yeah, look. To be fair, like, it'd be tough for Sligo. It'd be very, very tough for them. I just think when you look at the physical size of those Galway lads, it's just night and day, above. And like, what type of game plan would Sligo have? Obviously Tony McEntee, I suppose he's, Armagh born and bred. Sligo haven't been really a defensive team. But is that a game plan they'll approach with against Galway? Just try to keep men behind the ball, try and really sort of frustrate Galway, slow the game down. Because if you go toe to toe with Galway, you probably won't beat. You're definitely not going to beat them. Galway probably win by 12, 13 points. But if you keep the game tight, you might. Galway might win by 5 or 6, but it looks better. It's a hard one to know, really, from a Sligo point of view, but I'd be very surprised, to be honest, if Galway didn't win that quite comfortably. But there we go. Galway, solid team, strong spine of a team will push Kerry and Dublin for Sam McGuire. Yeah, look, and I think it's probably, I think Galway are probably the front runners now in my eyes, to be honest with you. Look, I think Mayo, I think Mayo will still come good at some point, but whether they have that, whether they're there just yet under Kevin McStay, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't seen them against Roscommon. Whereas Galway look like the team to beat, to be honest with you. They're not the most prettiest team to watch. There's not as much hype around them as other counties. And they obviously don't have an experience of winning the All-Ireland anytime, not since 2001. None of these players have at senior level. So, but they have the experience of getting to the final last year. So Galway are looking very good. We were looking at the Connacht final today, says Tom. Yeah, I think so. I think I think we all kind of said this, didn't we, before when we seen the draw. But look, it'd be a great occasion for Sligo, playing in Sam McGuire. It might get, I'm not too sure where that game will actually be played, the Connacht final. But, it'll be a great day for them. And obviously playing in the All-Ireland group stages as well, I think is very, very good for them. But, we'll go ahead and wrap this up here anyway. I'm going to be doing a reaction to Dublin's annihilation of Laois in just a couple of minutes' time. So that stream will be up in a few minutes. And we'll be going live 8 o'clock this evening with Matthew Hurley of the GA Statsman podcast to run through all the weekends. Very eventful action. Offaly beating Meath. That's definitely going to be a talking point. So, chat to you all soon.